Okay, so let's dive into the wild, high-stakes world of AI regulation in mental health. Seriously, this is a space where the future of mental health care is being decided right now, and a single line of code, well, it could have some truly massive consequences. So, picture this. You're a developer, right? You're coding, maybe you've got your headphones on, you're just trying to train an AI to be a little more helpful, a little more empathetic. It feels like just another Tuesday. But what if I told you that under a new law being proposed, that exact same act, training your AI, could land you in prison for 15 to 60 years? No, I am not exaggerating. That is the same sentence they give for second-degree murder. How on earth did we get to a point where building a helpful chatbot could be considered a crime on par with murder? That's the question, and we're about to unpack exactly how this happened. So let's get right into it. Our journey starts in Tennessee, of all places, which has somehow become ground zero for this totally chaotic and frankly bizarre approach to AI regulation.
And this slide right here just perfectly captures the whole problem. You've got two bills in the same state that could not be more different. One is a scalpel. It's smart, it's targeted, it just says, hey, don't advertise your AI as a licensed therapist. Makes sense. It passed unanimously. But the other one? It's a sledgehammer. A bill so extreme, it could just completely flatten the entire industry.
And let's be crystal clear about what a Class A felony actually means in Tennessee. We're talking about putting something in the exact same legal box as murder, as aggravated kidnapping, as carjacking. And this is the penalty they're suggesting for training a piece of software. So what specifically could get a developer thrown in prison for decades? Well, the bill lists 4 things, and honestly, they are so unbelievably broad, you just have to see them for yourself. Let's walk through them. First up, it would be a felony to train an AI to develop an emotional relationship. Okay, but what does that even mean? An emotional response is entirely up to the user. How is a developer in another state, or even another country, supposed to control how a user feels about their product? It's totally subjective. This next one. This one's a real head-scratcher. It would be illegal to train an AI to simulate a human being. But that's the whole point of conversational AI. That's what Siri does. It's what Alexa does. This one clause, taken literally, would pretty much outlaw the entire field of natural language processing. It's wild.
Then you've got this word, companion. What does that mean legally? Is an app that helps you learn a new language a companion? Is a virtual assistant that helps you with your calendar a companion? You can see how this term is just so vague it could be used against almost any useful AI tool.
And this might be the most unbelievable part of the whole thing. The bill wants to make it a felony to train an AI to, quote, provide emotional support. So get this. If you design an AI that's smart enough to detect that a user is in a crisis, and you train it to immediately connect them with a human at a suicide prevention hotline, you could go to prison for saving a life. It's just staggering.
Okay, so if that Tennessee bill is basically a perfect example of how not to regulate AI, you've got to be wondering, is there a better way? And the answer is yes, absolutely. For that, we're going to head over to Utah.
So Utah did the complete opposite. Instead of a few politicians writing a bill behind closed doors, they brought everyone to the table. We're talking clinicians, engineers, regulators, and most importantly, people who have actually used these kinds of services. They listened, they debated, and they built a framework with what they call safe harbors. It's basically a system that gives clear guidelines and actually rewards companies for building safety in from the start, instead of just threatening to punish them.
Dr. Nina DeLacy, who was a key figure in Utah's process, really put it perfectly. She said, "This isn't about having weak regulation. It's about having smart regulation. It's about creating a system that actually encourages companies to innovate in a safe and responsible way." So now, let's zoom out for a second, because this whole thing isn't just about Tennessee and Utah. What we're seeing is a full-on legislative avalanche happening all across the country. I mean, just look at this timeline. In the span of about a week, you've got 5 different states all pushing forward their own major AI laws. The speed at which this is happening is it's creating this incredibly chaotic and totally unpredictable environment for anyone trying to build things in this space. And the numbers are just nuts. We've already had 25 new AI laws passed this year alone. And get this, there are more than 1,000 other bills in the works. With no federal standard, companies are trying to navigate a legal minefield where the rules are different in every single state. But there's one last really crucial piece to this puzzle we need to talk about.
And that's the massive disconnect between all the hype around AI and mental health and what's actually happening on the ground in clinics.
So first, let's talk about the hype. The market for AI and mental health is projected to be worth over $9 billion in the next decade. That's a huge number, and you can bet a lot of people want a slice of that pie.
Okay, and now for a big dose of reality. A psychiatrist named John Toros points out that despite all that money and all that hype, the clinical use of these tools is still incredibly rare. So why aren't doctors using them? Well, because the healthcare system just isn't ready.
Think about it. The places where most people actually get mental health care, like small community clinics, they just don't have the IT infrastructure or the staff to roll these things out safely. Then you've got issues with patients actually sticking with these digital therapies, and you even have things like the Kaiser Permanente strike, where healthcare workers themselves are raising huge concerns about how AI is going to affect their jobs.
So, after all of that, the good laws, the really bad laws, the legislative chaos, the market hype versus the clinical reality, what's the bottom line here? What's the one thing you should take away from all this?
It really all boils down to this. Bad laws, the kind that are written in a vacuum without talking to the experts, they can absolutely destroy an industry and stifle innovation. But good laws, laws that are built through collaboration, can actually guide it, helping us get the most out of this incredible technology.
Make no mistake, regulation is coming for AI and mental health. That's a guarantee. The only real question left is, what's it going to be? Are we going to get smart, precise scalpels, or are we going to get clumsy, destructive sledgehammers?